So my project is Omgwtf, the restaurant for nerds. I designed this restaurant specifically for myself, my friends, and other people like me who aren't necessarily comfortable in your standard nightclub or restaurant environment. So in high school we used to play a game called Geek, Dweeb, or Spaz, where you could label everybody, there's specific delineations between these different terms, right? For tonight, we're just going to go with nerds, so don't worry about AS, right? And when I say nerd, I'm not talking about these guys from the 80s, right? We're talking about professionals in the industry right now, like chemists, computer engineers, marine biologists, and design students. Throughout the presentation, we're going to have three different elements that describe things that I'm trying to focus on: the comfort, the culture, and environmental responsibility. In your package in front of you, you've got floor plans that show off each of the individual perspectives that we got, as well as material references, but all of the other stuff is going to be up here on the screen. This is my entryway. This first little section right here is a digital screen, touch screen, that instead of handing out one of those little beeper guys that they give in restaurants, you walk up to the screen, punch in your phone number, your cell phone number, or email address. You get a text message or email sent straight to your phone, so you know when your tables are up. Behind this little panel is where the hostess actually hangs out, and she'll come out and greet you when it's time to get to your seat. We move beyond this panel, before we do that, the elements we're looking at here, the wall feature is a graphic that represents a cellular texture. You'll see it a lot if you look real closely at slides. And then the floor is 70% recycled content from Fritz tile. It's called amber. We move on to our restaurant seating, and in this area the comfort elements are lower ceilings and booth seatings to give a really nice close environment for everybody. The culture element is the test tube pattern on the floor, or on the booth seating. If you look at it like you're looking straight down at a test tube rack, I thought that was kind of cool. If we turn around and look at the first our detail is of the glassware that I got here. We got a graduated cylinder for our water pitcher, a beer mug made out of a beaker. We got a shot glass, kind of looks like a test tube, and then test tube racks in the back holding our flowers and where the menu would sit behind. The painting is actually an electrophoresis shell of somebody's DNA, which is kind of cool. Next, we turn around and we look at the first bar in the restaurant. It's the laboratory bar, and behind the back bar is actually a cellular structure of most plants. And then the countertop is actual laboratory countertop. It's resistant to damn near anything, so it's cool to put in. We got Yoda sitting here having if we take a look, going straight back to the east, we go upstairs and we come to our second floor. The second floor, the flooring is EnviroGlass. It's black with white dots. The white dots are reminiscent of a Pac-Man video game. The walls are all blue suede, and it's again the same color that you find in that video game. We've got tables with whiteboard markers and whiteboard surface underneath it, so that when we take Hector out to go drinking, he doesn't need to haul his notebook around with him. If we go off to the left a little bit, we get to our elevated lounge seating. And in this area, we've got, again, bamboo flooring, nice green stuff, and then the arcade table. This is a table that's throughout the entire project. It is a PC built into a table, and it's got little arcade handles in it. You can actually surf the internet and watch YouTube videos, or you can play old school arcade games like Pac-Man or Space Invaders and stuff like that. It's a full computer. It's the interactivity of the entire project. You want to keep people focused and entertained while you're sitting there and ordering more drinks, right? So then we go further into the room, and we have a big screen. This is where there are some places that play movies. I think it's up in North County someplace that play movies every Wednesday night. So when the screen gets dark, the little panels on the bottom glow. They're EnviroGlass, glow in the dark, but that's probably not strong enough, so they've also got LEDs to back it up. If we turn around and look back the other direction, in the back we have our second floor nerd bar. This is kind of patterned after the geometry of the Super Mario Brothers, and there's a detail in the back of the book. It's kind of rendered, but not great. Some of the features here, we got floating geometry again to reference kind of like a video game feel, and again with the bright colors. Off to the side, we have bookshelves because I'm the kind of guy that likes to go drink a beer and read a book, and I feel like such a loser doing that in most bars. So I put bookshelves on the side to give like the visual element that it's okay to sit here and read and discuss things. And then all the upholstery on all the chairs is alpaca wool. It's 100% recyclable material. It comes from my hair. It's great stuff. All the furniture on this level for the chairs and the sofas have casters on, so they are movable to open up the space so that it's more flexible. The tables are also movable, but they got to be plugged in so you can't actually use them if you open up the space. But it's okay. Now we're going to go off to the left a little bit and start going up the stairs, and we get to our first VIP area. I've got 6 VIP areas. 4 of them go up the stairs. 2 of them are on that previous floor, so they're ADA accessible. Inside these VIP areas, I wanted to give just a living room feel where 4 or 5 guys can get together. They can play video games in these consoles. The table elevates itself. It can for Dungeons and Dragons games. There are people that still play Dungeons and Dragons. And again, we have the bamboo floor going on. Then if we keep going upstairs, we go to the pie lounge. The pie lounge, everything in here is entirely circular. It's just really nerdy. I'm sorry. There's very little lighting on the top. There's a little bit of recessed coat lightings up in there. Most of the lighting comes from the surfaces on the bar and behind the bar, and each of the tables have a little bit of glow strip around, not enough to actually light up your face, but just a little bit. The tables are all topped with a thing called Microsoft Surface. It's actually a really cool interactive tabletop. It's touch screen active. I want to use it to put out my menu for the pie bar. And the pie bar I think is really cool because it's a dessert bar. You get your pie, and then you get a cocktail that's paired with it. And it's also, the table is also capable of playing little video games and stuff. You see there's not a lot else going on in the room, so it's nice to keep everybody's attention focused either down on the table or at each other. Almost all the tables are 2-tops, so that it's really more for the one-on-one interaction with the people in this level rather than the previous levels where it was all group interaction. Then if we go back to the east, we take the elevator upstairs and we hit the roof, and this is my rooftop area. The rooftop is for the private dining or the party dining. We bring them all upstairs. We got 8 people per party, or you can rent out the entire roof and just do an entire kind of lounging around, walking around, milling around party. The separated structures bring in that kind of comfort level. You keep everybody together, and then there's a lightsaber battle platform on the top. It's just a joke. There's actually solar panels popped up on there to keep those lights powered all afternoon. And that's all I've got for you. If you got any questions, bring them on.
So it was fun following you in the presentation. Of course, when we have to look at the plan and try and dissect it and go back and forth, it's a little hard. You probably know that. But yeah, it's kind of, definitely a geeky, nerdy, kind of fun space. So yeah. So what does OMG?
So it literally stands, oh my God, what the fuck. You walk into the spot, you want to say, oh my God, or what the fuck.
Right. Yeah.
Now, you can't print that in a phone book, so, OMG is the name of the restaurant, would be just fine.
Perfect, okay. Well, I like the pie lounge the best. I think that's really, all the circles and then the crazy, crazy drinks with desserts.
Brain hemorrhage.
Yeah, exactly. Fun stuff. But I think given the particular clientele that you focused on and the reasoning behind the choices in finishes and accessories to the space, I think that's consistent and solid.